Yeah, this video is going to be on justification of the judgment, full preterism, but not the corporate body view of full preterism, the individual body view. I was just talking to Rich Eckhart, who I get along with, who's a full preterist individual body view, which in my opinion is a lot better than the corporate body view, but I still disagree with it, but it's a lot better. Rich is a 5-point Calvinist, individual body view, 33 years a Calvinist, and so he wants to discuss, he's serious, he wants to discuss, so I'm responding to Rich, but he's serious and wanting to understand my argument and how it affects the individual body view of full preterism, because it really nails the corporate body view, and he's admitted that. He said that's why, no one wants to debate. I think it was Rich that said that, or Michael Eckerson. But yeah, to say to Rich, I haven't studied really. I studied justification quite a bit. I studied it off and on since I started studying theology in the Bible, 14 years. But there's differences between the Lutheran view, which I take, and the Reformed view. Because I think in the Formula of Concord, I don't have it here, I'm not home. In the Book of Concord, the Confessions of the Lutheran faith, I think they had issues with the Reformed. I'm not sure if it was on justification at that point. That was in 1580, I think that was written. But the Reformed and Lutherans, they pretty much have the same view, basically. Dr. Jordan Cooper did a great video on YouTube. Check it out on justification and the differences between the Lutheran and Reformed view. But of course, the Reformed view, if you're a high Reformed Presbyterian, you're going to take covenant theology. I don't know if Rich believes in that or not. But that's the difference between the Reformed and Lutheran view. There's other differences, but we agree basically, because the Lutherans and Reformed are the only two that you can really call Protestant. People will call anyone Protestant today. Anyone's not Catholic, Pentecostal. No, they're not Protestant. They're not Protestant. The Baptist down the road, Independent Baptist, he's not a Protestant. Those that came out of the Reformation, Magisterial Reformation, Reformed, Calvinist, and the Lutherans before them. The Lutherans are the first to put out a confession, the first church, but the Lutherans and Reformed are the only what we can call Protestant, Reformation Protestant, that came out of that. So there's great agreement with justification, that it's a declaration, that it's not a process where we're being changed internally, infused righteousness. This righteousness is infused in us, Rome says, and it changes us. That's justification. No. I have at home, I just ordered a bunch of Lutheran dogmatic systematics and a couple different works. One is Martin Schemitz, who was one of the greatest Lutheran scholars of all time. He actually wrote a lot of the Book of Concord, all the confessions, overseeing them. And he wrote, I think it was 7 volumes refuting the Council of Trent, but I got volume 1 because he deals with justification in the Council of Trent, so I'd really like to see that. But I just got the books there, and I'm just reading A.G. Voigt, just a basic small systematic, obviously. But yeah, we have the same view, a declaration of the person we don't believe it's a process, Lutherans, but we don't say it's a one-time act. We believe, as in Romans 5, 1 through 11 in Justification, that God is always, as long as we have faith, He's always declaring us righteous at all times. Romans 5, 1 through 11, I guess it's in the Greek text, it shows clearly that He's declaring us righteous throughout our Christian life. So it is a one-time act in a sense, but we're always being declared righteous. So that's a difference, I think. But we believe in the Great Exchange, Christ's imputation, and we do believe in the active obedience of Christ. That's Lutherans rediscover that and put it in their confessions. The Reformed picked up on it and agreed. So Lutherans and Reformed believe that the righteousness is His passive and active obedience, is that is imputed to us. Our sins are imputed to Christ. So there, and we believe justification, dikaio, means to accept as righteous, declare righteous, not make righteous, declare righteous. So the Reformed and Lutherans, yes, we have a lot of agreement there. But to the judgment, here's what I want to say, Rich, to the judgment. Here's what I want to say. I want to say, you've seen my videos. I've done, 30, I think, on soteriological implications of full preterism, mainly on the judgment. But basically, if the judgment was in AD 70, in the past, and yet in the Greek text, Romans 8, 33 and 34, Romans 3, 21 through 26, justification is taken for Paul, you can't put words in his mouth and change him. For Paul, it's a future judgment being brought into the here and now, into the sinner's life. They are declared righteous. So this is the last judgment in justification. It's the last judgment being brought into the person's life. They're declared righteous. They're not guilty. This is the courtroom scene. This is it. It affects greatly preterism. So what does the individual body view do? Well, it's appointed once for man to die, then the judgment. Well, that's until verse 28. Then Jesus comes. Then there's the judgment. It's not a judgment for infinity, of people being judged for infinity, going on and on and on and on, non-stop. That's not the judgment. There's the judgment, and that is it. Wrath poured out, saints are glorified. So I would really like to know from Rich, but that's basically, we do agree based on the basics pretty much of justification. There's going to be some nuances and different differences maybe, but basically we agree on justification. Him being Reformed, me being Lutheran, we have a strong agreement there. Our soteriology, a lot of it would be pretty similar. There's going to be differences, obviously. We don't take the tulip. We take the T and the U and throw out the lip. So I'd be interested in the individual body view. Rich will respond to me. I didn't want to type this all out, so that's why I did the video. This is pretty much questioning the individual body view, because Rich is like, hey, and Rich is right. The individual body view is not the corporate body view. It's better than the corporate body view, but it's still not exegetically correct, in my opinion. That's my question to Rich. Is there ongoing judgments for infinity? Or is there a day of judgment? Is there one judgment, or is there infinity judgments, trillions of them? That's my question. So how does that judgment work? And Rich, message me I told him, message me anytime. I like Rich. I like Michael. Both Rich and Michael Eckerson So they know this is devastating. They thought for the corporate body view, my argument, but they're trying to point out, hey, maybe it's not sufficient for the individual body view, but I think it is. I don't think there's infinity judgments, not at all. I think there's one judgment. I don't think God is dealing with judging people forever. That's my take anyway. So that's about it. And so there you go, Rich. Maybe you can explain how you see the judgment, and you know my argument. You know my argument, my implication argument. So I don't need to really delve into that right now. So yeah, I'm curious because I think my argument would destroy even the individual body view. So thanks.